A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online, and here we are back with our NTA UGC NET preparation for paper 1, that is 2022 batch. And as you all know that we are live from Monday to Saturday. So how this pattern of life goes on, that is from Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday we are live on YouTube. Thursday it is exclusively for the subscribers on the app, and Fridays and Saturdays the class is live again, but in this Fridays and Saturday class we have MCQs which are going on with the topic. Like for example, ICT topic is going on, so you have ICT topic MCQs to be followed. So right now this is the pattern which is followed after the completion of the syllabus. Definitely we will be having live Monday to Saturday, but on those days we'll be having all the MCQs which will be taken for each and every topic in detail, along with the practice question, previous year question papers. So this all will be done in detail. I hope everything is fine, everything is clearly audible. One of you just revert me back so that we can start the session for the day. Yes, welcome to the unit that is Information and Communication Technology, ICT, where today we are going to see computer languages. We are going to see some common threats, internet threats, which are very common question nowadays in examination. And yes, apart from this, I just didn't write over here, but I'm going to start from today certain digital initiatives also. I'll be taking it slowly, few of them on daily basis, because the list is bit long. Okay. And yes, so regarding our UGC NET paper 1 course, that is the course which is be consisting of 100 plus live lectures. The course will be having 100 plus video lectures also. Notes will be provided to the students in PDF format. Previous year question papers with the solved key. But yes, I keep on saying that how to solve previous year question papers. If any student new in the class, please remember that previous year question papers should not be learned. It should be solved. It means you have to look at each and every option, even if the answer is not the option, but you have to do a digging what that particular option refers to. That is how your knowledge increases. Mock test, yes, mock test will be given after completion of the syllabus, which is more than 2,500 MCQs. Fees is rupees 2,000. Contact details are given in case if you want to contact the concerned person with certain doubts. And yes, this is Global Online app which we have updated. So this is our new app, updated app, so you can go at the Google Play Store and download the app. Now today also, whatever topic I am going to teach today, all the topic questions are on the app. So it's like in practice, which is free of cost. You have to just go on the app. You have an option there as a store. In the app you have an option there as a store. You will be having ICT test. You can please try to solve the test. This will give you a little bit of confidence with reference to what your daily preparation. Okay. Yes, so totally we have 5 questions. Total number of marks for this for each question is 2. So let's start now the session. Now before we go ahead, let me complete what exactly I have done until date. So I have provided general abbreviation and terminology. As I said, I will be providing you the notes also, specifically notes on abbreviation and terminology, which you have to do on daily basis. Basis of internet, intranet and extranet I have covered. Okay. Apart from that, some topics on memory I have covered. Some topic we have also covered generation topic, network topic we have covered, which is not detailedly given in the syllabus, but it's a part of your examination. Today we are going to see some topics on digital initiative along with the internet threats, as well as we are going to see the computer languages also. So let's start the session for the day. Any students who are with your running notes, please keep your notepad ready properly. And yes, good evening to everyone and thank you for your revert. So let's start the session for the day. Now we know little bit of pattern we have changed. So first let's go with the current affairs, little bit of information, new information with reference to ICT. So first of all, the first private search engine has been developed in India, which was launched on Republic Day, that is 26th of Jan 2021. Now see, in this particular cycle, this question didn't appear. So it doesn't mean that it will never appear, because first private engine, which is with reference to India, which is one of the proud moment for India, is Kumayu, that is designed and developed by Indian researchers under Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-independent India. The founder is a 22-year young man, that is from Nishit, that is Ahmedabad, that is the city of Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and he is the one who has launched this private search engine. That is the name of the engine you have to keep in mind very well. Keep the name of the founder also in mind, and keep the name of the remember the date also. Now, before we go ahead, if anyone, I mean to say any technical person or person who is from the IT background, if in 2007, okay, we talk about the first search engine, but in 2007, IITians had also made an attempt, that is Guruji.com was the search engine which was been brought up by them. But yes, there were a lot of issues with that. No doubt it was going best, but it couldn't survive, even for a span of 5 years. And that was a failure. So remember this one very well, that is 2007. In the year 2007, IITians came up with Guruji.com. That was also the engine which was basically developed in India, but had a lot of failures. I hope this is very, very important. So the search engine, India's first private search engine, with the name of the engine, the name of the founder, and the date should be kept in mind very well. Okay. No doubt to anyone who is late, you can just catch up the speed with us. Fine. Then, apart from this, now with reference to ICT, I mean to say especially in the time of COVID time, that is in the pandemic time, we had some initiatives. Now let us have a look at that also. Oh, sorry, I think that slide, okay, I have misplaced that slide. Just a second. No worries, I'll get it afterwards if you want. I think there is some small error in the slide numbering. Fine, I'll get that very well. So we are going to start with the search engine topic only. Now on the channel also, Deepa was the one who has given a doubt. That doubt I have taken in the class. So let's go slowly ahead. So search engines in India. So these are the search engines which are used. So I have numbered them all. Google, Live. In fact, Google is one of the best search engine. Throughout the world, it is counted as the top one. Then we have Live, we have Alexa, that we have Baidu, that we have MSN, Yahoo, Args. DuckDuckGo, Allo.com, Excite.com. Now sometimes, yes, you get questions on search engines also. Okay, the list are given. You are supposed to find out the odd man out, the correct one. So you should be at least knowing, with respect to India, you should be knowing the knowledge. Now, there is one doubt which the students always have, is the difference between the search browser engine and the search engine. And this was a doubt that one of the student has posted on the channel. So I thought I should take it in the class today. So let's understand that. What is the difference between a browser and a search engine? So in simple language, if you remember, a browser, I mean to say, especially for the students who are from non-IT background, a browser is the one. I have separately just written in easiest form, then we will go for this difference also. A browser is the piece of software that retrieves and displays web pages. So browser is the one, I mean to say, a software that helps us to get the web pages. Whereas search engine is the website that helps the people to find web pages from the websites. Okay, like for example, if it is little bit technical, I'll just give you a small example just to help you out. Like for example, if you want, I mean to say, when we talk about Google as one of the search engine, so whatever you want to search, like for example, you just want to find the trains going to Delhi. So if you find, if you type the same on the search engine, Google will give you all the links, with respect to the trains which are available, with the timings, with everything, with the help of what? With the help of your keywords which you have typed in your search engine. Now, it will, when I am talking about browsers will help you to get, the websites which basically will give a detailed presentation. The search engine's work is only to search the maximum amount of all the information with the web pages that will be done by the browser. So if we see a systematic difference between both of them, let's go one by one. So when I talk about browser, it is a software application for assessing the information on your web pages. Okay. Whereas search engine is a software system that is designed to search for information on the web. That is with reference to the websites. So here it will give you the information directly on the that is web pages, whereas it will take you to the websites. Browser allows accessing and displaying the websites, whereas search engine allows searching and filtering the websites. Locally installed on the user's device, whereas a software system that runs on the websites. Now, this is the main question. See, now normally the examples they give you and they tell you to distinguish it between browser and search engine. So when we talk about browser, Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, these are the examples of browsers, whereas search engine, just now I gave you an example of search engine and I said Google is one of the top, I mean to say throughout the world, it is one of the best search engine. That's how you have to remember. Now, any student who is from little bit non-IT background, so you have to just, I mean to say, don't try to, you end up learn by hearting it. Don't do that. Just remember, for you people, I have just written in a simple sentence, browser is the one which will help you to retrieve and display the information with the help of web pages. And search engine will find the web pages from the websites for you. And you have to keep the examples in mind. That's all. I mean, from examination point of view, at least this you can keep perfectly in your mind. Okay. Now, going ahead, I hope this is very clear with everyone. Okay. So now going ahead, let's talk a bit on memory. Now see, one thing, now like for example, some topics are there which are related to continuous topic. I was just going through all the questions. I mean to say I have prepared a question bank of on an average something 300 to 400 questions. Now yes, those questions are completely different from the concept theories. Now when I say this, don't get a panic attack. I have assured that when I start with MCQs, I will be taking everything in detail. Okay, so like if you have the tension for this particular unit, because the syllabus is little different, the questions are completely different, so don't worry. So small things out of the questions also I have framed properly with the content, so that it gives you a little bit of confidence when you will solve the question. So now let's understand about this memories. That is basically, that is memory. When we divide memory, it gets divided into three parts. One is your primary memory, one is your secondary memory, which is also called as auxiliary memory, and the third is a cache memory. So now let's see how it is different, because this type of, I mean to say, I have little bit loaded information in this slide because I just wanted all the continuity togetherly. So it may look little bit packed, but I'll explain you in detail everything properly. Now on this slide, the question comes of arrangement. They will give you in any sequence and you have to arrange the sequence very well. Okay. So now let's start with the auxiliary memory. That is when we talk about auxiliary memory, it is called as secondary memory, okay, which is an external memory in the form of magnetic tapes or in the form of magnetic disks. Now, as I said, memory topic tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll take again once in detail. So right now, you just focus on this particular point that when we talk about types of memory, they are divided into three parts. One is primary, secondary, and cache memory. So when we talk about secondary, that is called as auxiliary. I have just given an example over here as magnetic disks, which is external, okay, and magnetic tapes. Now, when I talk about primary memory, so the memory which is also called as main memory. So keep this words also in mind. Sometimes we, like for example, when we read something, I mean to say, when we talk about memory, these questions, suddenly your mind doesn't work regarding what are the what are the different names. So you have to remember them very well. Yes, very good. Tamina Khan, if I'm not wrong with your pronunciation. So yes, she has already given an example of external memory in the form of CD and DVD drives. Now, when we talk about primary memory, that is primary memory, which I called it as inbuilt memory, that is your, you can tell it as your main memory. Now, when we talk about main memory, that is divided into in the form of your RAM and ROM. Okay. Now, RAM and ROM also, I have just taken a small part. Tomorrow, I'll be taking in detail, I said, memory topic. So, That they are the one which are RAM, which is a volatile memory, ROM, which is, it's a non-volatile memory. Now, what is volatile, what is non-volatile? We will do it, but still, in case a small amount of information, that is volatile memory, because the memory cannot store the data permanently. So primary memory, select any part of memory when the user want to save the data in the memory, but they cannot store it permanently on that particular location. I hope it is clear, and I'm saying, don't worry, we are going to do this tomorrow in detail also. Okay, now let's go understand about cache memory. So cache memory is nothing but one of the type of fastest, relatively small memory that is stored on a computer hardware. Commonly shortened to cache, the cache memory. Now this is very, very important. On cache memory, there are lots of questions seen. So I have just highlighted it properly so that we can go a little bit slowly and understand it very well. Okay. So when we talk about cache memory, as I said, it is small in size. Again, it is a type of volatile. Now I said that volatile, I have told you what is the meaning of volatile. It means it is temporary. Okay. Now speed is high over here. Now, as I said, the cache memory. So now I'm saying the words, no? So those who are taking running notes can please write it down. Now this cache memory acts as a buffer to store the temporary data. See, now here they have made the use of word temporary. So you can use it volatile between the processor and data memory. It stores necessary data frequently, which is used by CPU so that it can be easily accessed. It is one of the most expensive type of memory, and it is integrated inside. So it is internal, no? So it is integrated inside the central processing unit chip. Okay, now how to remember? Now, like for example, you may think that I have given so much of information, but I have told you to remember few things which are really important from an examination point of view. So that's the reason I first showed you what exactly it is divided into. Memories are divided into primary. I said primary is the main memory, which is volatile, which is divided into what? Two types. It is called as what? It is your random access memory as well as your read-only memory. Fine. Then there is also details in that which we will see later on. Then I said that is the next is which we studied is auxiliary memory. That is also called as what? That is also called as your secondary memory. That is in the form of magnetic discs or magnetic tapes. One of the information you have also got in your message also. Now, when we talk about next is the cache memory. So cache memory, what we spoke, that I'm telling the words again. A small size volatile memory, as I said, okay, which is used in the form of what? Which is used in the form of or it is used to process and store the frequently used information. It is one of the fastest memory, and it is integrated on the motherboard, you can say, and directly in the processor, or it is with the help of random access memory. Is it clear? And the last, that is your register memory. Now register memory, when we talk, it is a type of a computer memory which is used. It is again a smallest and fastest memory. It is not the part of the main memory, but it is located in CPU in the form of registers. Okay. Now, this particular memory again is quick. It accepts, stores and transfer the data and the instructions which are being immediately used by the CPU. A register temporarily holds. Now see, this is very, very important. A register temporarily holds frequently used data, the instructions as well as the memory addresses that has to be used by the CPU. Is it clear? Now, what type of questions they give is that register memory, cache memory, okay, speed and cost. Maybe they will tell you to arrange between speed and cost, okay, or they will be telling you to arrange with the space. Please remember this very well. They will give you the sequence in such a way that you have to arrange it as per the speed and cost. So can you tell me quickly, say we can do this in the class also right now. If I am talking about speed and cost, okay. Booting, yes, I have that topics also, but Tahmina Khan, if I'm not wrong. Let me go with my sequence, okay, because again, it is a complete different thing. Some students get it difficult to absorb this, and in between, if I'm shifting the topic, it becomes little difficult, okay. I'll tell you that also, but let me first sort it out this. Some students may be completely confused, so let's not confuse them more. Fine. So yes, I was talking that when we talk about computer memory, can you tell me with speed and cost? If it is speed and cost, it goes in which order? I mean to say which is the costliest one and which is the which starts with the smallest one, with the cost and speed. So can we have the answers? I hope it is understood. Students are getting it clearly. There is no response at all. I'll give you at least a minute so that you can just tell me that the question was regarding speed and cost, which is the highest speed wise. That's what my question was. Yes, Tamina Khan, I will take your question if you don't mind. I will take it at the end. Okay. Junaid and Dilip, I told you from this, like, if I talk about register memory, if I talk about cache memory, if I talk about primary memory, and if I talk about secondary memory, out of these 4 memories which are given on the slide also, that is secondary, primary, cache and register, which is the costliest one? Speed is register and the costliest one. Expensive, okay. Fine. Others, there are 24, 25, 26 students. Okay. Fine. And space-wise, which tops? Secondary, okay. See, there are 2 things I asked about. First, I asked about cost, and second, I asked about, it is regarding your space. So that there are answers which are coming little bit. You have to, okay, cache is most expensive. Yes. No, not disk wise. I'm not talking about the storage capacity. Storage capacity question will come different. Space wise, secondary. Okay, very good. Okay, fine. Now see, just over here, as compared to, I mean to say, when you compare between cache and register, registers are the more, I mean to say, cost wise. Okay. Cost wise, they are costlier than the cache memory. Please remember. And speed wise, Junit, you are right. That is secondary memory. Sorry, space wise, secondary memory. Okay. Yes. Is it clear? Fine. I hope this is little bit clear now. And don't worry. Those students who are little bit new, they may little take time. But when we are doing MCQs also, these topics are going to come again and again. Fine. Yes, so let's move ahead now. But before we move ahead, let's get between cache and register very well. So the cache memory stores all the frequently used data and instructions on a device in it. Thus, it speeds up overall performance and the process of the computer. The register, on the other hand, holds a piece of information such as a computer instruction or the storage address of any particular information. So in case if you want to get a difference also, this will help you to get a summarized difference between a cache memory and a register. Is it clear? Shivanshi Singh, you have free classes are there on the YouTube only Thursday classes are not there on YouTube. It is only for the app students or who are subscribed it. So you will get free classes only from Monday to Wednesday. Thursday classes are not on the YouTube. Is it clear? Fine. Yes. So now let's go a little bit ahead. Let's now have a topic of computer languages. Okay. Now, yes, on this also, you get a question. You get a question on complier, interpreter. We have the questions also. Yes. Manoharan, you are right. Okay. So now let's understand languages. In languages, definitely one questions are seen. So you have to little bit understand this topic very well. So when we talk about computer languages, that is low level languages and high level languages. So when we talk about low level languages, this is divided into as what? Machine language and assembly language. When we talk about high level language, it talks about what? It talks about general purpose language, that is the compiler and the interpreter. So when we talk about compiler, you have languages. When you have interpreter based, you have languages, and special purpose languages. Okay, but you have seen the questions on high language, interpreter and compliers. I said there are more basic questions, but let's understand what exactly high level language is for. So when we talk about high level language, these are the languages this is a language which only humans can understand, high level language. When we talk interpreter, which translates high level language into low level language and vice versa. When we talk about low level language, only machines can understand. So if you see, two languages, the computer languages are divided into two, that is low level, the language which is only and only understood by machines. I'll just clear the ink so that I can just revise properly. We're talking about a topic called as computer language. So we have two types of language, low level and high level. Now these low level languages are those languages which are only and only understood by machines. Next is the high level languages which are only and only understood by humans. Now obviously one is the which it's only understood by human, one is only understood by machine. So there has to be a translator or there has to be an interpreter who can get the languages understood by both. So it is the interpreter which can translate the languages. So here also the students little get confused, but I hope it is very clear now. Low level, high level, and the interpreter which can translate the languages, vice versa. Fine. Now let's little bit have a differentiation between compiler and interpreter also. Shivanshi Singh, my timing is daily at 9 p.m. So when we talk about compiler and interpreter, compiler is the one which translate the compiler translate the compiler source program in a single line. Now here also statement wise they always try to confuse you. When we talk about interpreter, it is the translation which happens line by line. Okay, that is in a single line, and here it which goes line by line. Compiler is much more faster, whereas interpreter is, compared to compiler, it is slow. Compiler obviously it is faster, so it requires less time, and when we say interpreter it is slow, so it consumes more time. See the year also, like how they have given, it consumes more time than compiler. In examinations also they will put some type of confusing sentences. So when you're using handy notes, you make it clear. Compiler is faster, so it will require obviously less time. Interpreter is slower, so it requires more time. Then compiler, then interpreter, this all, then that, if makes you more confused. That's the reason when I'm saying when you're making handy notes, make it in such a way that it is very clear. Let the question come in any part, any twisted sentence, you should be very focused. Yes, it is faster, so it requires less time. It is slow, so it requires more time. It is faster, it requires less time. Obviously it will be more efficient. If it is slower, it requires more time, so the efficiency here will be found as less. Compliers are larger in size, interpreters are smaller. Again see here, than compliers. So don't use these sentences or things in your notes, so that makes more confusion. Is it clear? So now statement wise question comes either to prove which is faster, which is slower, or which requires less time. So once you know it is faster, it requires less time, more efficient. Slower, it requires more time, and the efficiency level is less seen over here. Is it fine? So yes, when you get a question, see today obviously there are questions on whatever I am taking, whether it is memory, whether it is about languages. So ensure that you are understanding the things very well, and you are able to give a good amount of questions answer in a correct way. Simple questions, but in a correct way. Okay. Yamuna, notes only comes on WhatsApp group. So this is the only mode of WhatsApp where we send the notes, and that also notes do not come every day. I have a strict rule that notes will come after the completion of the topic itself, because it becomes daily difficult, so many files you will also save. So one file comes at the end of the topic. Fine. Yes. Now we are going to have, there was a concept. Now this is a topic actually which I have taken from the question. There is a previous year question which talks about multiprocessing and multiprogramming. So I thought I'll first explain you the concept and you can be able to do it very well. Okay. So let's understand what is this multiprocessing. There is a recent question on this topic, multiprocessing and multiprogramming. Okay. Now see the word multiprocessing. So it indicates what? It refers to processing of multiple processes at the same time by multiple CPUs. Okay, multiple processing. Now please remember the word multiple, it means what? It indicates what? It indicates many things. But it is talking about what? It is talking about processing. So processing happens at the same time by multiple CPUs. Whereas if I'm talking about multiprogramming, so when I talk about multiprogramming, it is several programs in the main memory at the same time. Like for example, take an example of in the Excel worksheet, you are doing multiple programmings at a time. So that will be termed as what? Programming. You are doing something at a multiple time. Okay. It utilizes, that is multiprocessing utilizes multiple CPU. Why? Because the process are same time it is carried out on the multiple CPU. In multiprogramming, it only uses a single CPU. It permits parallel processing. Why? Because as I said, it is the same time the things are happening. No, so it will allow parallel processing. Now here see, again here, how it can be a little bit confusing statement for you. So if they are giving statement questions, okay, they will write like that. Multiprocessing allows parallel processing. So now you will get confused. Now what is this? So sometimes, it is just, you may just write it as false. You may remember that multiprocessing, so same time. But that same time is nothing but it refers as what? It refers as parallel processing. Whereas multiprogramming, context switching takes place from one sheet to maybe to another sheet, or from one program to another program. Less time takes to process the job. Here more time is taken to process the job because you are doing a lot of programmings at a time. It facilitates, that is multiprocessing facilitates efficient utilization of devices of the computer system. Whereas, okay, Shreya, just a minute, I'll come again. Okay, whereas when we talk about multiprogramming, it is less efficient than multiprocessing. So you can see that efficiency level is more in multiprocessing because it is making use of different devices. So obviously here the load is more because it is on the single CPU. Here it is different. So your efficiency level in multiprocessing will be high, and in multiprogramming the efficiency level will be less. They are more expensive. Such systems are less expensive. Okay. So now I'm starting once again. A student has a doubt. So we are talking about multiprocessing. Okay. So when I say multiprocessing, it means that at a single time, okay, lots of things are happening, but at a different or with multiple CPUs, single time. The processing is happening. Okay. You know what is the meaning of processing, manufacturing? I can't use the word manufacturing here, but I'm just helping you to understand manufacturing. So how manufacturing takes place, in a different, in the same, premises, but with a different machines. So same is compared to what? Multiprocessing. But when I say multiprogramming, it means in a one system, with the help of one system, different programs, like for example, you are working on Excel, maybe you are working with apart from Excel, you are working with PowerPoint, you are working with Word document. So these programs are happening, but in single CPU. So obviously the load here it's coming is more. So you can see the efficiency level is less. But here you are using, at same time, at a parallel time, all the parallel processes are happening. So here you can see the efficiency is more. Here less time is taken. In multiprogramming, more time is taken. Now here you have making use of multiple CPUs, so obviously multiprocessing will be very expensive. Whereas in multiprogramming, it's the same thing, so it will be less expensive. Is it clear? Now on this topic, as per there is one previous year question, so I got this topic for this. Is it clear? Okay. Now the next topic which we are going to go is internet threats, the most common internet threats. Now whatever threats I have listed, all are in the form of, the questions, previous year question papers. Every topic they have taken this topic, and these questions are nowadays very common of common threats, internet common threats. Again, that will confuse you. So now listen very carefully. One by one we are going to start. So before that, so before we start with the threats, let's understand the difference between virus and worms. Now here, again, student get confused over here with virus and worms. I hope it is a little bit, I have just crumpled to write the meaning. So virus full form also is given. Okay. Worm full form is also given. Virus refers to vital information resource underseas, whereas when we talk about worms, it is write once, read many. This was also one of the previous year question paper. Question was there. Okay. Now, when we talk about meaning virus, the virus attaches itself to the executable files and transfer from one system to another system. Okay. Now when we are talking about okay, fine, just a minute, I have seen messages. Manoharan, you have written the explanation, correct? No, I mean that is for easiest understanding. Deepa, yes, once this is complete, ICT unit will be completed. No, I'm trying to get it more regularly. My ICT unit is complete. After that, Zeba ma'am is going to take her data interpretation and other units, that is mathematical and logical. So I will get a lot of relaxation and time to post 2 videos daily. At least I'm targeting 1 to 2 videos. So let's see. And even, the syllabus is very vast. So don't worry, we will be able to cover that also. Fine. I just interpreted everyone in between. So we'll come back to this topic of threats, wherein we are first understanding the difference between virus and worms. So when we talk about virus, that is vital information resource underseas. When we talk about worms, it is write once, read many. Now, when we understand the meaning of virus is something which attaches itself to the executable files which are executed and which gets transferred from one system or one PC to another. Whereas when we talk about worms, it is a malicious program that replicates, it itself replicates and spread to the computer, that is different computers via a network. So you can also say that virus requires human interface, whereas worms does not. So here see how the same sentence, but how it is given. See, requirement of host. So here it's nothing but host. It means the human interface is required. Whereas in worms, it does not need any human interface. It can replicate with its own from one computer to another. So now see the same sentence, but how the meaning, it can be twisted. So that you have to keep in mind. So human action, as I said, it is needed. Okay. Worms, it is not required. Speed of spreading for virus, it is slow, whereas worms spread more faster. How can we remove this? We can remove with the help of either antivirus or either with the formatting. In worms, we can remove it with the help of virus removal tool, or you can do it a formatting of the system. Protects the system using, if you want to protect your system, you have to use an antivirus software. Where if you want to protect your system from worms, you have to use antivirus or firewall. Consequences, what are the effects? Virus can corrupt and erase a file or a program because it gets spread with the help of executable files. Whereas in worms, it consumes the system resource and slow down it. Even it can halt the system completely. Okay. Is it clear with everyone? Okay, fine. So now let's see now, apart from this, what are the new terms which are added? So let's go one by one. Okay. Now let's start with the first thing is spam, which is most of us know about it. The fact that most of our emails accounts come with a spam or a junk folder. That is, the spam emails are a huge issue. Now when we talk about okay, I'll go back. Just give me 5 minutes. At least I'll complete one concept and I'll go back to that. Manoharan, okay? So when we talk about spam, obviously this is not a new word for us. We have seen this huge in number. 50% of our emails, are under the spam mails. Aside from being an annoyance, spam emails are not a direct threat. However, now this is very, very important. They can contain, many can contain malware, that is a malicious software, or you can call this as malware only. A software written with intent to damage, to exploit, or to disable the device, system and network. And that can be in the form of adware. Now this malware can be in the form of adware, it can be in the form of Trojan, or it can be in the form of virus. So the continuation, see spam, we get spam mails which actually are not a direct threat, but it can contain a malware. Now malware in the form of what? Adware, or it can be in the form of Trojan, or it can be in the form of virus. So virus, just now we have discussed that virus is one of the most talked about internet threat is a virus. Viruses usually attach themselves to the downloads as they are designed to spread at an alarming rate, that is executable files, with the help of executable files. Viruses can often attach to the files for download, which we download, okay, from the website. They can be shared via CDs, DVDs or USBs also, or loaded onto the computers by opening infected email attachments. That is the attachments, the files which are in the form of email. So virus we are done. One of the malware, as I said. Now worm, now the student who is having doubt, I'll just go through it also. Now that is nothing but you call it as what? Write once, read many. So this is one of the malicious program which is does not require any type of execution. It is all a program which replicates itself and can spread to the different computers via network. So there is no human interface required in this. It can spread on its own. It can replicate, and it means it can spread it on its own, or it can replicate from one computer to another computer. And how it can affect the computer, it can slow down the computer, or it can completely stop the computer. So the difference between both of them is that both of them are a part of malicious program. Only one requires an interface and another spreads on its own. That is the only difference which you have to keep in mind. Okay. Now, adware, which is again a malicious software, is a type of, as I said, it's a malware software that displays unwanted ads. Now this is very important. See, what exactly to keep in mind? Adware is something which displays unwanted ads when a user is surfing the internet. The ads often redirect you to your searches to the advertising websites and collect marketing type of data behind you, which you will definitely not be aware of, okay, which is considered as malicious. So please remember unwanted. For match the following if it comes, you have to remember one word very well. Adware, see, you don't have to learn also, don't by heart also. Adware, it means a malware which comes in the form of unwanted ads, and where this unwanted ads can be displayed when we are using, when we are surfing the internet, that time these are displayed and they try to collect the information without the behind the back. It means without our notice, user's notice. Trojan, that is leaves your computer completely unprotected, which can mean that the hackers can steal any data from your system. It means this is like an key. They open the computer and definitely which allows the hackers to get inside and steal the data from the system. Often presents themselves as an harmless computer program, so the hackers can easily get into the computer without being detected. Again, it means without being without understanding of the user, they can enter into the computer and can get the data easily. Fine. Now, I hope I'm going ahead. So you people have understood. We studied actually spam, which is in software, malware software, which can be in the form of adware, which can be in the form of Trojan, or which can be in the form of virus. Now, apart from this, as I said, worms we have already done. Okay, just now we did, but still I'll just repeat it once again. So usually make their way on, see, Usually they make their way on the way to computer via a email attachment or a USB stick. Once your computer has been infected, it will likely send itself to every email address which is logged in your system. So as I said, it replicates on its own. We don't have to do anything. The work is already done. To the receiver, your email will appear harmless until they open it and the infections and is infected by the same worm. So it just reads and replica and it automatically gets its work done. Fine. Now, phishing. It is the simplest term. It is a form of fraudulent activity. There was a question on this also. More often than not, official looking emails. Now see this here. Official looking emails are sent by a well-known provider such as bank, okay, which we feel is, official, which is of use. But these emails are sent to acquire people's password and credit card details, okay. So this is a activity which again is to steal the, valuable data. With the help of what? With the help of, in a very systematic way, with the help of emails, that also with the well-known provider. Okay, so see all these words or all those terms have came in your previous year question papers, and that's the reason we are taking so much time to discuss them. So you should be well aware about them. Spyware. Now this is one of the another form of malware. Spyware is an all encompassing internet nasty and usually attached to pop-up of downloadable files. That is the files which pops up as a downloadable files. One install. Now obviously what we do is once we install it on our computer, spyware can monitor your keystrokes. See, keystrokes, read and delete your files. They can reformat your hard drive and assess your applications. Whoever is controlling has the access to your personal details without you being knowing about it. So how they come in the form of what? Downloadable pop-ups. So when we download, it starts monitoring our computer, it starts deleting the files, it starts reformatting our hard drive, and at the same time it can have access to our personal information without our understanding. Keyloggers. Now see this word, keyloggers. It means what? They are the one who is, who has a record of our keyboard actions. So similar to a spyware, keyloggers record a user's keyboard action. Most keyloggers will be, it means logging in our keyboard. Keyloggers is like logging in our keyboard, user's keyboard. Most keyloggers will be looking for distinguishable key entries. It means the entries through which we make our bank details or through which we do our transactions, that is bank card details and password. Keylogging is often linked to identity and intellectual property theft, which refers to robbing of people or companies' ideas, inventions and creative expressions. That is intellectual property, which is a part of all this given. Is it clear? So if you see the words how to keep in mind. As I said, you have to remember the terms very well. Keyloggers, it means they log through our keyboard actions. Spyware, it means, they are the one which helps us to get into the computers with the help of what? Downloadable pop-ups. Phishing, with the help of official mails, that is by the well-known provider. When I say virus and worms, we have done very well. Trojan, which is, it looks like for example, a harmless computer program, but definitely enters our system in order to take all the information. And adware, it is with the help of unwanted ads, which is displayed. So these things, again, there are few more are there. Okay. This is a few more which are there. And yes, there is a question on snipping and spoofing also. So we are going to do that also. Now, farming, that is more complex version of phishing. So right now we did phishing was what? One of the simplest form where we get emails from the well-known provider. Okay. But here what happens is that they exploit the domain system. Okay. They create web pages mimicking. See, this is what is the difference between phishing and farming? You should know very well. There it is very simple form. Here they create the web pages mimicking that of trustworthy business. Like for example, online banking. Once you log in into this page and you enter your details thinking that you are logging into a usual service, and with the details the things are they have been stolen by the farmer. So this also looks okay, but simple, but it is very complex version. You will not even realize that you are into some mimic page and the things are out of your hand. Okay, so remember, phishing and palming, you have to remember the difference very well. Then rock security software. Now again this also it's done very smartly. So if you are downloading any antivirus or any anti-spyware programs, you have purchased it from a legitimate, you have to do it from a proper legal source, authenticated source. Okay, here what will happen is they will ask you for an extra protection. They will tell you to pay for an extra protection, which is again a huge con. The security software is completely useless and criminals have robbed you of your money. So it means that they are not authenticated source of software. Okay, is it clear? Fine. Okay, I'll explain again. Once again I'll repeat it. Okay, I hope Shreya, you're clear with phishing, so that if you're not, then I'll just once again, because it is bit related. So when I say about phishing, it is some simple emails which we get from, like for example, if you have in bank accounts, we get from bank accounts. So we feel that it is authenticated and we try to open the emails, and the person acquires the information, maybe the passwords and the detailed credit cards details, which can be used for fraud purpose. Now the complex form of it is farming. Now here what happens is, like for example, see, nowadays if you want to make a payment, if when you click, you have an options for payment, cash on delivery, or internet banking in the form of credit card, debit card, UPI. So when you click on that, it will redirect you to a new page. That's what's happened normally when we go for an online payment. Now when it will redirect you to the new page, the page will not be suspicious. You will feel that it is a part of the activity, but actually that is a duplicate page wherein they will tell you to log in with your bank details, and within no time the things will be, it means your money will be stolen. That is called as farmer. Is it clear? Farming. Is it fine? Hope it is clear with you now. Okay. Now sniffing and spoofing. Now what is this? It is a process in which all the data packets passing in the network are monitored. It means that sniffers can be hardware or software installed on the system. So whatever it's happening in your system, they can have a close look at it and they can take your valuable information. Whereas spoofing is the process in which an intruder introduce the fake traffic and pretends to be someone else. Like for example, an email is sent from a false sender address, and it will be asking the recipient to provide the sensitive data. So this is spoofing is done with the help of emails, whereas sniffing is a process which is in the form of hardware or software. Again, these two questions were, there was a question on this also, so you should be able to remember this concept very well. Okay, now fake traffic intruder, it means a sender which you will definitely, a false sender, but you will realize it is a true, and by the time you realize, the things will be out of your hands. So these are the all common threats which are there in your ICT and which are a part of all your previous year question papers, especially 2019. Okay, 21 I haven't, no student came up and told about this question, but yes, the papers have been uploaded on the website. So slowly that process is going on. Once it is uploaded, we will download and check it. What were the questions exactly? Is it fine? Okay. Now going ahead is, as I said, today I'll be taking some topics of ICT. Now yes, Junaid is over here. I think Junaid, you only requested, see, in ICT regarding initiatives. Okay, now please remember, there is one common thing which I sorted out today, sitting properly and understanding everything. One is your teaching aptitude, another is your communication, next is your higher education, okay, and last is your ICT. Communication not that much, but still there is some part there. Now in this 4 units, I will repeat what I am saying, just listen very carefully. I am talking about digital initiatives in education. The topic which I am saying is digital initiatives in education, which in teaching aptitude unit, in communication some part is there, in higher education and in ICT are almost all common. Okay, the only thing is that now you have to divide yourself. I mean to say, notes you will be getting all, but you have to keep on revising every time these things very well. They are common, they are not different, only some things here and there will be looked different. But these are the things which are very common in this 4 units. So if you see even the previous year question papers also, I'm not talking about latest 5-year question papers, some or other form these questions were there. Okay, so you have to give, if you club this 4 units, all the initiatives are together. So don't take tension in ICT, current affairs anyways. I said that, you know, when I'm taking MCQs, I will initiate that 5 current affair questions also I take. So it's you will be able to learn that also. But don't take an extra burden now, so much initiatives we have to do. In this 4 units, whatever you club, it is all together. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is Diksha. It's also called as full form. Okay, many times I made the students learn full form very well. Now such a huge gap, they must have forgotten, but again we will start it once again properly. So Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing is an initiative of National Council for Education, Research and Training, that is NCERT, and Ministry of Education, which was launched in 2017. It is a national platform for school education which is available for all the states and central government, all the states and central government for grades 1 to 12, that is from 1st standard to 12th. The platform can be accessed through a web portal and mobile application. It provides a pool for e-content. Now see, now as I said, I have keep on saying every time, now students who are making notes, okay, so you have to make now a separate section for digital initiatives, because if we combine, I think there are 32, 28 but 4 are still added, 32 digital initiatives for higher education, 32 totally, that is not higher education, in total education. So now you should have a separate note section for digital initiative, where you have to write the name of the initiative, if full form is there, full form, the year and the role and what exactly is their objective. So here when we talk about Diksha portal, it is basically a pool of e-content linked to the curriculum, and this portal currently supports 18 languages from various curriculums across India. No doubt right now you are listening to it, but after a day, after 1 hour also, you will not be able to remember if I am asking you questions. So you should keep on writing and keep on revising. That you have to do very well. Okay. Now Manodarpan, which started in July 2021, that is last year itself, Ministry of Human Resource Development launched this initiative, Manodarpan. This was to provide the psychological support to the students for their mental health. See, Manodarpan, mental, okay. Darpan, it means some type of burden. So in order to ease that burden, this was actually started, especially dealing with the challenging time, that is pandemic. Manodarpan is an initiative under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, which was launched by our Prime Minister, that is Mr. Narendra Modi. And the platform covers a wide range of activities to provide psychological support to not only to the students, counseling services also, online resources and a helpline. So this is basically to strengthen the mental health or to come out of a trauma if a student has suffered during the pandemic. But obviously now the pandemic has gone, now that trauma phase has gone, but this will continue to count as in counseling services in the coming futures also. Fine. Manoharan, what you have wrote at the end, I'd reference what I didn't get. Okay, now we have eVidwan, eAcharya, okay, we have eKalpa. eKalpa questions were asked 2-3 times in 2019 cycles, and we have eYantra, where we have seen all the questions from here. So when we talk about eVidwan, that is a premier database. Many of you must be having this on the tip of your tongue. It's a database profiles of scientists, researchers and the faculty members which are working at the leading institutions and other research and development organizations and which are involved in teaching and research, and it started in 1999. When we talk about eAcharya, that is Acharya, it is the portal which is content under a mission, National Mission of Education through ICT, which is basically the portal which provides facility to search and browse learning materials including audio, video, textual materials, etc. through a single interface, and the portal covers the quality learning resources from top institutions of the country. Okay, you just keep on putting your doubts. I'll just get back to you one by one. Okay, so when we are talking about eAcharya, okay, so it is basically, it talks about what? It basically talks about your portal, I mean to say, which is developed with the help of ICT, and this is basically with an intention to see that the learning material is given, okay, with the help of what? It is with the help of not only audio, video, textual materials, but with a single interface, and that also from coming from a top institutions, okay, that, and started in the year October 30th 2006. Okay, now yes, Manoharan, now I got your question. You were asking about for mainly for teachers. No, it is not basically for teachers, it is for everyone. It is for teachers also, it is for students also, it is for parents also, and which the people who are involved in in this profession. So it is not learners, scholars also. So it is not focusing only on teachers, it is focusing on everyone, teachers, students, parents, including parents also. Is it clear? Now, eKalpa, that is creating digital learning environment, for design, which was again sponsored by Ministry of Human Resource as a part of National Mission of Education through ICT. So, I mean to say, where we are talking about ICT, you have to remember this very well, okay? And yes, I'm saying that you don't have to worry that, in one day you have to cramp everything in your head. Please give a time to yourself also, but on daily basis. Now there are 32 digital initiatives. Okay, one specific lecture I will take on all the 32 at a time. But before that, I have to give you a small introduction about everything. Otherwise, all 32 will be a bouncer. So give a time. I mean to say, slowly, gradually, we are moving ahead. That is important, and there should be consistency in your learning also. Now, when we talk about eYantra, that is again, I've just focused the topics. There are so many details in this also, which we will slowly look into. Okay, now eYantra is an initiative to provide hands-on learning infrastructure to engineering students, okay, who have limited access to the labs and the mentors, which started in the year 2009. Again, which is an initiative taken by Ministry of Human Resource Development and under the National Mission of ICT in Education. Okay, so eYantra is basically, again, with the help of ICT, it is trying to give support or maximum assistance to the students who cannot, who have a limited access to some facilities in the form of labs or in the form of mentors. So here they can get, eYantra. It means in the electronic form they can get the maximum support and maximum use of their talent can be made. Is it clear? Okay, so this is what we have. Yes, this is what we have learned for the day. Now, as I said, now yes, I hope Miss Khan, I just forgot your initial name. So you are there for that booting topic also you want to. Let me first complete this, then I'll come. If you're there, just ping me, you're there. Okay, so yes, first of all, very important, a very small motivational dose, not motivational dose, a reality, a reflection. Don't say you don't have enough time. You have exactly the same time or the same amount of hours per day that were given to all this great personality. Okay, that's what been written by Jackson Brown Jr. So you just have to ensure that you do it. Okay, and as I told, there should be some potential Latin explorer. Now, what is the meaning of this word? It means that every day, I mean to say, yes, I mean, this is going to happen. Maybe a student who has sat for my today's lecture feels that ICT is one of the worst student and I should leave it. So it will take time for you to digest. It will take time for you to understand, but slowly. I mean to say, like, it's like, you have really worked hard for 3 months, and after 3 months it was a time for you to practice your MCQs and to give your best, to polish your practice. But by the time you could explore into the new world, you left out. I mean to say, you gave up. So obviously you never open the door. So unless and until if you never open the door, how will you understand what is there behind the door? Obviously you think that it is darkness, but there will be a lot of greenery. So please ensure that, as I said, I keep on saying this I keep on saying this every lecture, no matter, but it doesn't mean that ma'am said that don't sit for 2 hours, sit for half an hour. I said that once in a while, if you can't sit for 2 hours, you have to make a time to sit for half an hour. Don't forget that you should not spoil your habit. Daily studying is going to help you out. Only thing is that it has to consistent, it has to be seriously, and it has to be with a will that you should crack your NET examination in the coming cycle. Is it clear? So that's how we are going to, go ahead slowly, gradually. And I am 101% sure the moment we start with MCQs, you will get more of energy level and enthusiasm, because questions are front of you. So you will feel, and very soon we are going to start it. So don't worry. Reference collection or manipulation. Manoharan, I studied research aptitude, ma'am. I go through many questions. Which process is not needed for experiment? I didn't understand your last two parts. Your question is itself difficult for me to get. Which process is not needed for experiment research? That's what you mean to say? Can you just put it little bit elaborately so that I can get it properly? Yes, Shivam, hello. You are too late for the class, or you were there, I didn't knew. But yes, if you have any doubt, please proceed with your doubt. And Deepa, I'm extremely sorry. I'll definitely ensure that the management lectures, have kept a target of month of March, and it should happen so that you people get time to do your MCQs also, and I'll stick to it. Okay. So yes, paper 2, we are having paper 2 for the subject as Management, Commerce, Economics and Computer Science 2, wherein we have where we have video lectures, notes on all the topics, subtopics. At the same time, you have practice previous year, 5 years previous year question papers you can get for the practice with the solved answer key, and mock test as a revision part after completion of the syllabus. The fees is 5,000. If you take this course, paper 1 will be free. If you have any doubt, you can get in touch with the same. Muhammad Dur, thank you very much. I hope this motivation till the last day of the cycle will go on, and we can see, more and more positive results coming up. Apart from this, we also have Gujarat set, West Bengal set, KSET and APSET. That is in the form of full syllabus mock test, PDF solution, notes, as well as MCQs, which you can practice and crack them very soon. Now you can get in touch with the given contact number if you are a part of any of these exams. Deepa and Manoharan, I'll just write and take down your questions. I just need some time. Let me first understand them, and I will just come back to you. Tomorrow maybe 5 minutes will take on both of your topics. Let me find out exactly what you are trying to tell and what I am supposed to answer. Okay, fine. If you can elaborate and put it in on the channel also, it's fine. I'll get to see it, and I will just understand the question properly, and I'll get back to you with what exactly you wanted from me. Fine. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night, and see you tomorrow with lot of contents to be learned under ICT. So don't miss the class. If something emergency, it's fine, but try your level best to attend the live classes. Thank you very much, everyone.